join me in this journey. Join me and see if you learn anything. If you don't learn anything, maybe you could just get to follow me and see what I do. Now, if you're wondering what kind of business I'm starting a. I'm so sorry. But before I tell you, you gotta wait a little bit more. But in the meantime, follow me real quick. Let's take a trip.
Of all the things that are shiny and new, I'm the dull stone at the bottom of a pool, tossed by the jealous waves of the sea. I'm not as strong as I appear to be. I'm at the deepest depths of the lake. I lay alone in the darkest place. In my sorrow, dream of the sun. I just wanna be the shiny one. Where the water creeps, where the creek don't rise, I'm a rough stone that you'll ever find. Pick me up, throw me out, walk away and don't look back. Round by the deepest depths of the lake, I lay alone in the darkest place. In my sorrow, dream of the sun. I just wanna be the shiny one. I just wanna be the shiny one. Be Round by the deepest depths of the lake, I lay alone in the darkest place. In my sorrow, dream of the sun. I just wanna be the shiny one. I just wanna be the shiny one. I just wanna be the shiny one. Oh, I just wanna be the shiny one. Shiny
Oh, shoot. Is that you? You're awake? Hell yeah. Awesome. Welcome to El Paso. It's only a 4.5 hour drive. Thank you for leaving me by myself, though. That was nice. Real nice touch. Just messing with you. I think you're kind of tired, though. You kind of look a little tired. Look like you haven't eaten, too. I don't know. I haven't checked the fridge yet. I don't know if they left us any goodies over here. But in case they didn't, you can have the rest of my crackers and get some sleep. Sound good? All right. Good night. So, what kind of business am I starting? Why does it matter? Why me? Why should you care? Maybe you shouldn't. Obviously, you should care. But, well, I've actually been recording my own podcast since 2021, and I have a public version of it now that's actually been released since probably March of this year or so. The public version since March has been doing pretty well, actually. The goal for there is as many people as possible to show that we're all not that different from each other. Uh, if you'd love to be on it, I'd love to have you. It's on all the different platforms. It's on all the different platforms, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, TuneIn Radio, even iHeartRadio, like everywhere. It's everywhere. Wherever you listen to it, it's on there. Except for Google. Google canceled their podcast. It was on Google until they canceled it. But if you'd love to be on it, I'd love to have you. Reach out to me through YouTube in the comments, DM me. If you have my number, email me. Working on all the social stuff to get that aligned so people can DM me a little bit easier for the podcast and for collaboration, stuff like that. But I want my own experience. I want my own experience with business. I want my own experience running my own company, doing all the little intricacies, hiring, firing, getting that system in place, or systems rather, that will streamline everything and hopefully bring a lot of success. Do I know everything about this business, though I have my own podcast? No. Is this stuff guaranteed to work? Probably not, to be honest. But I am optimistic, though that doesn't sound like it. But it's just giving me that experience that I need, especially with the empire that I'm trying to build, not through this, but through other things. I need that personal hands-on experience. I need to be in it day in, day out, messing with things, doing all this other stuff so that I can actually see it for myself. So that's the only way to grow, really. Don't really know how else you can do it. I'd love your feedback. I'd love to hear any input you can give me, anything to improve on this business idea, and also even through the channel. I will be showing you guys throughout, obviously, this channel how each step is coming along. But as for the equipment I'll be using, I use the Rodecaster Pro equipment. Rode always makes great audio quality products. I use their microphones, their lav mics, their shotgun mics, all the different things. So the Rodecaster Pro is what my podcast is actually recorded on. I have the first version, and the ones that I'd be renting out to people, it is a rental. It's really a logistics business, if we want to be honest. But the ones that I'd be renting out are the second generation ones, the Duo and the Rodecaster Pro 2. But even on my own podcast, if you guys ever listen to it, which you should please listen to it, even on my own podcast, I don't really do any editing. Everything is just off the onboard quality of the audio interface itself and the mics that I use. I use the pod mics. So everything's within the Rode ecosystem. The quality, I'll tell you right now, is phenomenal without really touching it up, without doing anything. And that's what I try to give other people. So who's the target audience for this business? I'm glad you asked that. There are many people that can actually fall into it, but primarily young, probably in their 20s, 30s, young creatives looking to start something, get out there with their, it starts off with the podcast and this audio recording equipment, but it's not limited to that. That's just to get us in the door. But it really is for people who are trying to get into these markets and share their story, share what they have with the world, but don't yet have the equipment to do it. Okay, yes, you could just save a couple $100s and buy one of these kits online, then you'll be able to do your podcast from that. You'll be able to record your videos and all these other stuff like that. Why use my stuff? Well, unfortunately for them and you, should you patronize me, my stuff is the leading quality. I use Rodecaster, Rode equipment. Rode has great, phenomenal sounding equipment. It's just like Canon has great cameras, Sony has great cameras. You can use other brands, but All this is shot on iPhone, Apple, if you're listening. But on a serious note, giving people the opportunity to explore their passions and be creative, even when they can't necessarily afford something or access it in the way that you should. And maybe it's actually not better to actually buy all this stuff outright, because it's a lot that you have to lug around. It's a lot that you have to worry about, whether you're storing it in the right place, whether everything's temperature controlled, whether somebody's gonna rob you. That's a real possibility. This is studio grade equipment at affordable rental prices. Everything that you need to get started is in there. The microphones, the audio interface, the stands, the cables, the SD cards, the transfer cards, everything you need to express your creative thoughts through voice at this moment in time with that exceptional sound quality is all in the package. And it's all, like I said, it's shipped to you. And all you have to do is return it to me. How to assemble everything will be in a QR code that links them straight to this channel. They'll be able to see how to exactly put everything together, how to power everything on, how to export and import their files, all that good jazz that's available to them. It's going to be super convenient as well. So, like I said, don't know if this is going to work out in the capacity of, if you were going to ask me, like the E-Myth book, if you ever read it, it's a great book. If you ever ask me, okay, what kind of scale of business is this? $500,000 a year business revenue? Is this a $50 million, billion-dollar company? Things start becoming a bit more muddy. I'm not sure that this, in audio only, and that's where I say the expansion comes through. In audio only, I'm not sure this is more than, a few $100,000 business if you were to do really, really well. However, like I said, it really is a logistics business, and mastering that logistics, mastering the website, the ordering that people will be able to do, that they'll be able to see the inventory, get everything kind of like to an Amazon level. Amazon, please don't come after my business. It's very small. Focus on what you're doing and just ignore this corner over here. But really, if we're to talk about expansion, if that system is in place and that infrastructure is there are so many ideas I have for expanding this out beyond, like I said, just audio. So hopefully you learn something. Hopefully you join me in this. Hopefully you rent something from me continuously. But yeah. So beyond expansion and potential total market domination, the real benefit of this business is for people like you and I to push us out of our comfort zone. I'll show you this place in a bit. This place is really, really nice and amazing. Little tiny house that I came to shoot this video in. It pushes us out of our comfort zone. It pushes us out of things that we're used to, makes us a little bit uncomfortable, and in that discomfort, you're able to find out a lot more about yourself. Kind of like with the podcast, the way we record in the dark. Yes, we record in the dark. Go check out the podcast. You'll understand. I don't want to explain too much. Don't want to spoil it. Go check out the podcast. Links are below. When you push yourself beyond your comfort zones and you push yourself to do things that you wouldn't normally do, or that you could normally do but you're too afraid to do, or push past some resistance, you see that there's so much on the other side of it. There's so much joy. There's so much that you find out about yourself. There's so much that you just didn't know. Came all the way out here to El Paso to record, and like I said, didn't have to pay this money to do this, didn't have to come out here, but it was because I actually wanted to. Like, I've been thinking about this video and how I could say it in a way that's less boring, how I can convey that and kind of mimic some of the ideas that I have in my head and bring them out to real life. Hopefully this video has entertained you. Hopefully you've caught something from it. But I'm trying to inspire you guys as well. Whatever you have out there to contribute to the world, whatever your gifts and passions, your God-given talents are, use them. Use them and let's go out and conquer the world. Let's change the world for the better. There are so many of us that have ideas, and albeit great or bad ideas nonetheless, and don't implement or don't take action on any of them. And I don't want to be one of those people, and I don't want you to be one of those people. Not at all. I want us to be able to think of something that's going to be beneficial to society in some way and be able to act upon it, be able to take those steps, those uncomfortable steps, meet the people that we never thought we'd meet, talk to people, put ourselves out there, and actually really make a difference. Maybe you have nothing to do with being a creator. Maybe you have nothing to do with video or audio editing. Recording has nothing, like, wrong audience, right? Cool. It doesn't mean that you don't have something to contribute. It doesn't mean that you don't have something, right, that makes you unique, something that you can give to the world. While I'm doing all this, there's still other pursuits that I have. I'm almost done writing my book, my pre-marriage book, that is advice and questions. I'm not married, but advice and questions that young people or people about to be married should ask themselves, and should have those uncomfortable conversations, or just even gathering all that information so that they can know what they're walking into each other, because it really is a union between the two people. It's like two titans coming together, two families merging together. It's really important to know if you guys want to have kids or not. Like, it's really to know if you're aligned on finances and outlooks, and even what the other person's ambitions and passions are. Like, those things are, to me, base knowledge, but you'd be surprised how many people don't know. I'm not trying to throw any tea or shade out, but that's still something I have on the side. That has nothing to do with audio and video equipment. There are other things as well on the side. I won't tell you all of them now. You gotta follow the channel and you'll see all of them come out. But even this tiny house that I'll show you guys here in a second, this house is something that is another potential long-term idea for me. A possible solution. I'm looking for possible solutions for this real estate and housing issue that we're in, this housing crisis, where even people like me who are making a good amount of money from a good salaried job, it's just kind of unaffordable. Yes, I could buy a house right now or do something to that extent, but $300,000-$400,000 house is at 7.5% interest rate. That's ridiculous. Do the math on it. The interest is ridiculous. Even a 30-year mortgage it's just locking you down into something. And if that's for you, that's cool. For me, that's not what I want to do. And there has to be some alternative, and I don't see an alternative right now. I don't see something that people can just easily flock to. And that's something that, for me, that's another opportunity. You get what I'm saying? So there are opportunities out there. All of us have these ideas. Write them down, journal. I'm a big advocate of journaling. But don't leave them in the journal. Let's go out there and actually make a difference. Let's go out there and actually manifest some of these ideas. I like to think, and if you're not religious, it's okay. I like to believe that God gives people the same idea. Different people, different continents, different generations, and it's just to see who's going to act on it. Who's going to actually be the one to carry this through. Maybe it'll be you, maybe it'll be somebody else. Maybe you'll just have it, and I don't know if you've ever been like that, but you see somebody make something and you're like, hey, I had that same idea 5 years ago. Well, why didn't you? They had it 5 years ago and they were able to actually start on it. So hopefully this turns into be a very inspirational channel that not only do you get to see the practical life advice for what to do, how to do it, the steps to follow, even if you don't follow my steps exactly, which you shouldn't, each business is different. What I'm hoping for is that this channel will be not only a step by step showing people the behind the scenes on how to start a business, how to get all the legal documentation, what you'll really need, and how easy it actually is. Even though it's complicated, it's fairly easy. It's just putting in all the time and effort and the work into it. But also, it's going to be an inspirational channel, trying to remind people to do what is in your heart, in your mind to do. All of us have a purpose within us, and if you dig deep enough within yourself, it'll become very apparent what it is. You'll know it instantly when you think of it. But knowing your purpose is one thing. If you're not acting on the purpose, what's the use of it? What's the use of knowing it if you're not acting on it? What's the use of having information? What's the use of having money, right? Andrew Carnegie, John D. Rockefeller noticed this, and Carnegie caused Rockefeller to do it. But what's the point of having all this money and all this knowledge, right, if it's not being applied anywhere, if it's not being impacted in terms of giving back and actually giving the society something to benefit from? That's why in their later years they had this massive spending campaign where it was really all philanthropy. Their national parks, libraries, for government, different government public projects they funded in their later years, even up to the point that they died, college funds, just in the attempt to give back. Because they realized after being richer than Bezos could ever be, or Elon Musk could ever be, there really is no point if it's not benefiting anybody. And if you just hold all the power, there is no point to it. So I feel like I'm rambling at this point. I still actually need one more thing before I go from you. I'm going to ask you one thing, and then I'm going to tell you one thing. I need a name to call you guys. I don't want to pick a generic name that people actually call their followers, if you'll call it, but people call them family. People have different, like I'm sure Mr. Beast has a like his little name for his Beastables or something like that. I don't know, for his cult-like following. But whatever name, I'm actually curious what you guys come up with. Hit me up, text me, email me, leave it in the comments. Tell me what name. It'll be interesting, and I'll use that from here on out. The thing I want to leave you guys with, just the one thing. What's your dream right now? Like what are you working towards? Obviously, we're all working towards something. We're working towards the day-to-day, paying our rent, doing this. All bigger than that. What are you working towards? What do you hope to leave in the world? What do you hope to leave behind you? What legacy do you hope to leave behind? You don't need a YouTube channel to do that. You don't need a business to do that. But what steps are you taking today to make sure you're going to end up there? I can ask this question in a different way. What's that thing, the thing that you know if you didn't do in the future, you'd know you'd regret? I don't want to live a life of regrets. I want to do the things that I know. There's some stuff that I honestly won't care. I won't care if I actually go skydiving or not. I won't care if I actually go bungee jump. Like, I don't need all that thrill stuff. Like, it's fun, but like, I'm not going to lose any sleep. Oh my goodness, I'm about to die and I didn't. No. But I will lose sleep if I didn't chase these passions. I will lose sleep if I didn't utilize the purpose and the ideas that God had given me and implement them in some kind of way, or at least try to. If I tried to, and that's all I ask for even you guys, try. If you try to and it doesn't work out, at least you learn something. You learn something about yourself. You meet so many people. There's so many people I'm meeting that I didn't expect to meet or didn't expect to connect with. And maybe that's the whole point of this. Maybe it's a very expensive speed dating hobby. Who knows? But with that, I'm going to leave you, hopefully something to think about. And let's get into the tour. I'll show you guys where I've been staying. It's actually been pretty cool. So yes, I do overpack, as you see all my luggage right underneath, but this loft area was actually pretty cool. You got the king size bed up here was really nice. A little bit less comfortable than the futon mattress down beneath, but two TVs in the space. Right here in the kitchen is actually pretty cool that you had somewhat a full size kitchen minus the stove, but everything that you really needed. And then I just really love this bathroom right here. This bathroom space, even though it was small, it just was really well decorated, and I think that's kind of the whole theme of the whole place. It was really nice seeing these wall arts. I love seeing the mini split there in Celsius. It kind of threw me off because I was like, oh, why is it 18-20 degrees in here? But yeah. So I just want to say a quick thank you to everyone for watching this video. Thank you for all of you who are part of this journey. Thank you for everybody who watched the last video. I definitely didn't share it with 100 people, but where all those views came from, I have no idea, but thank you. Hopefully this has been somewhat inspiring. Hopefully you're learning a few things, if not anything about business, hopefully about me, and I hope to see you in the next one. So thank you.